Hey Max, you like my shirt? It says the Hoth face, and there's a.
Oh my god. For a second I thought you were fashionable, but then I saw the Star Wars figure.
Oh no, but there's a story behind me getting this shirt. Uh, I had to get this is the only shirt that I can find that fit me in Miami after I couldn't get to my luggage for 2 days. So it happened to be in a toy store that I went to visit, but they had these shirts, and I thought it was pretty good. I won sale $15. Very nice, very nice.
Yeah,
You
well,
know,
it was cheap, so that's good.
yes, but it's also sentimental. So it's my third Star Wars shirt. So we're getting deeper. We're getting deep. We're getting deep.
Definitely.
Anyway, dude, it's time to talk about RC, and we gotta drop that intro.
Nitro is the glory. Welcome to the No Name RC podcast with your host tonight, Keenan White, aka Lefty the Great, and if you are unlucky, the Finnish village idiot, JQ. This is the RC podcast with no name, but plenty of content. So sit back, relax, and get ready for some serious bench racing.
Yes, indeed, Nitro is the glory, but E-Buggy pays the bills. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode number 133 of the No Name RC podcast. I'm your host, Keenan White, aka Lefty the Great, and to my left on screen, I still get this mixed up, he's from Finland. He's not an idiot, but he's not a village idiot. He can be an idiot at times, but I like to welcome, and he won this weekend, so he's victorious.
Yes.
He's won round of the Nordic Championship. No, it's just Finnish, right? It's just a Finnish championship.
Just Finnish, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it isn't that glorious. But Max Moore, what's up, Max?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I've just been having fun recently. Getting back to racing has been really enjoyable. I mean, I didn't think it was gonna be this fun because we had races last year, but it's still kind of weird. This year, like everyone's been at the races, it's been pretty much normal racing. So like, I'm definitely like kind of surprised how much I missed this.
Well, it looks like things are getting serious. You got your army hat on, even though you don't have army approved haircut or shave or facial hair. But we're gonna get more into. We're gonna talk more about your race here in a little bit. We're back recording. I've been back now a week. No, actually not even a week. I was supposed to be back a week. I left North Carolina a week ago today, but I didn't get home till Saturday morning sometime. So just to cover that up. Oh, what the heck? Something in my mouth or something. Anywho, we're back here in the DR in the studio, back to our normal recording process. I'm hoping that still something in my mouth. Like, what's going on here? Anyway,
Dude, you gotta figure it out.
I don't know. Crazy. Back from America. Hopefully, I'll be going back next month. We'll see how things happen. It was a great trip. We're going to touch on that a little bit as well. But before we go on any further, I want to shout out and say thank you to all of the NNRC squad around the world. It was so good to meet new people, connect with new people. Connect with old friends at these races. It was a lot of fun. So if I met you in my travels, it was awesome. Thank you for coming up, and thank you for the support of the podcast. Shout out to all the patrons on Patreon that help keep these bills paid. Thank you guys a lot. I greatly appreciate it. We can't do this without you. And of course, thank you to the awesome sponsors that support this podcast. They are Mayako, Beach RC, TNR Fuels, Hitec RC, Tekno RC, Sun City RC Raceway, Lugs Tires, JQ Racing, Manscaped.com. Actually, Manscaped just sent me something nice. I forgot to bring it up, or I'll have to show it off on next week's podcast. Papa Willie's Traction Tonic, Racecraft USA, House of RC, Wally Builds, RCGP, I think JQ Threads. Just shout out to everybody that shows us some support. And remember, everybody, showing the sponsor some love, shows the podcast some love. So we do have some promo codes. We do have some affiliate links, especially for Beach RC. If you can use those, it greatly shows some love and helps us out. So thank you. All right, Max. So we're back. You and I were busy. You and I did the whole nationals. Thank you. I appreciate that. It was fun. It was really fun being there and like boots on the ground. And you know, if your observations from what I weren't seeing, because I weren't watching live RC at all, so you saw a whole different angle than me. And man, I just gotta say once again, thank you to the family, the mamas. I believe that's their last name, but Kevin and Krista and all the LCRC crew. We had a blast up there. It's really nice up there. It's beautiful up there. Ain't much around, but it's really beautiful up there. I hope to go back one day. I really do. So back home from the nationals, had an exciting route back home. You know what, Max? I just got to get it right off the bat. This is probably one of the best trips that I've had because it's kind of like you got back to racing. It's like, it's so much fun. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. I haven't traveled in over a year. It was so like, as soon as I got to America, I was doing something every day. I mean, the second day in America, we drove 700 plus miles. We did Tail of the Dragon, which was awesome. You know, on our way to Tennessee to pick up the NNRC Cup. We went in Mike's, you know, badass Honda Civic. And it was pretty sphincter clenching at points, you know. But, you know, I kind of settled in there and I was just like, man, if I move my body mass around too much in this car, I'm gonna throw Mike off. And, you know, I don't want to, you know, this is fun, but I want to be alive. So we did that. That was fun. But we just did a lot of things, man. It seemed like I didn't really sit down until the last maybe weekend. And not even the last weekend, because the last weekend I went on to Augusta to Joe Fest. So, yeah, just...
The Nerd Fest?
Yes. I only got to spend like an hour and a half there, though. I should have just went down on the Friday, spent the night there, and just spent the night there Saturday, enjoyed the whole event. I went to some of the seminars that they had and conferences that I had, but I took Mike and Heather went, and you know, he wasn't really kind of into it. So then they said, hey, let's go over to this festival, because it was like a lot of little things going on, like a farmer's market, a festival. It was a lot of activity going on in this little town, and it's a pretty decent sized town, Augusta. And they got there and it was like a gay pride festival. So it's like, oh well, we're not going to that. I was like, you couldn't see that it was a gay pride festival. It had like rainbows all over it. So we had all these different entities converging on one place. You know, we had a bunch of nerds going to the G.I. Joe Fest, and it was not just nerds, it was families and all that type of stuff. So it was really fun. And yeah, like it's bigger than RC, that's for sure. I'm gonna say that.
Yeah. No.
Well, it's bigger than RC
question.
Racing. It's bigger than RC Racing. You had people lined up, like you could have paid $10 more, $20 to go in, like out, like they had a certain time where you could go in early because you're also buying stuff. And and people just paying. I was like, no, I'll wait, because I paid for Mike and Heather, so I just waited and say I'm paying $30 more. We had half an hour to wait. But definitely a great experience and something I got to knock off my bucket list, along with doing things like the Tail of the Dragon. We just did something every day. We went check out Mike's dad's into slot cars, like drag slot cars, where you just pull the trigger and it goes, and they make them look whole scale. So we went and checked that out, and then we got to do some actual slot car racing. They gave us some fast slot cars, like, you know, circuit track. Going on to Beach RC to do the podcast, all this stuff. It was a great trip, man. I kind of wish I could have stayed and done the ENATs, which is coming up here, I think, in 2 weeks' time. But I just couldn't. I think I could have done the ENATs for like $1,000. You know what I mean? Fueled on, hotel, a little bit of food and stuff like that for Mike and I, and maybe Heather would have went, but I just couldn't secure it and kind of have to come home.
Yeah, and to be honest, like the ENATs sort of aren't a big race. They sort of electric Euros for 8 scale is much bigger, I feel like.
I think so too.
And all that. But for Americans, it's been sort of very quiet, I'd say.
Yeah.
I think it was like 40 entries last year or something very small.
I think it was like, yeah, it always suffers from low entries.
Yeah.
But I did talk. I mean, I was going to talk about this later, but I did talk to Lee at the Nationals, and he said, because I always thought it was kind of a smallish track. It is like a 10 scale. I mean, you can run e-buggy on it, but it's really a pinch. So he said that actually extending each end out 40 feet. So that's pretty significant. You're getting 80 feet more of track, and it's going to be under a roof too. So it'd be interesting to see what they do. Unfortunately, I won't be there. I'm striving. I would love to do Wicked Weekend. Salty Joe wants to go Wicked Weekend, but I don't know if that's going to be feasible. But I would love to go to the 10 scale nationals. It's in the same area. It's in Gaithersburg, which is about 8 hours from Charlotte. And I've never been to a big 10 scale race, so I like to do that, and then maybe another big 8 scale race while I'm on the East Coast next month. We'll see how things go. So if anybody wants to get behind that, any of our sponsors or any companies want to support us going to races and doing what we did at the Nationals, hit us up. We're looking for some sponsorship for that, please. All right. Anything I'm rambling on about my trip, but you've spent time in North Carolina with Mike and all that stuff, so you know how the trips go. I had a lot of fun. I want to say thank you to Mike and his wife Heather for their hospitality. They've always been very hospitable to me and making me feel at home. And I got to hang out with JB a little bit, and that was good. And just had fun. Like the Southeast racers always treat me very good. Went to Sumter, had fun. Even the Southeast racers that were at the Nationals, we all went out to dinner on the last night, which was really nice. Thank you to Bubba. He paid for lunch. He paid for dinner. And shout out to Katie and Race Like a Girl podcast. I got a t-shirt from her. I got to wear it. I just have to wash it. I just had a great time reconnecting with people, man. That's when you go to your international race. Like if you went down to Portugal, you would be like, this is what I miss. Like you would think about it. You'd be like, yeah, I don't get to talk to Gongaro. I don't get to talk to one of those guys you might have met. Like, and
but I think even in finish races, I still feel it. Because like I haven't been able to do like finish races as often as we do now, so it's even here. It's nice.
Yeah. I would love to go down and be around the guys that race her. I talked to them and I got back and I was like, look, I know nobody's gonna do nothing during the summer. It's too hot, but let's try and organize something for after summer or organize something here soon so we can form just a group of guys and try and get some stuff done. And we got the track, we got the area, we got the driver's stand. Let's build a track there.
Yeah.
We got everything there. We just got to make the track smaller, and I want to do it with cooking oil. Sorry, I'm sold on that. So we shall see.
Yeah, I don't really support the cooking oil, but
really, why not? I would
Not
do it
really.
for her. Have you driven on a track with the cooking oil?
I'm not 100% sure, but I think I have. Because
So
I don't know
you-
what they treated, what they always treated. But I think I have at some point. But
So
I'm
you're not even
100%
sure. You're not even sure, but you're against it.
Yeah, but like it's like super bad for the environment.
Not cooking
then
oil.
Yeah, it is. If
No,
it's
it's
like
not.
old, if it's used, because in UK what they do is they buy sort of or just acquire some used cooking oil from like McDonald's or whatever, and then they just pour it on the track.
Yeah, but that's natural oil. It's not like crude oil that came out of the earth.
Oh yeah, but it
It's-
still pollutes the water because it's cooked.
Yeah, but
That's
it's
why
not.
it's waste.
It's not bad like crude oil coming out of it. It's natural oil.
Well, it's
Yeah,
not.
bad.
It's not that bad, but it still pollutes the water.
I mean, we eat this stuff, so
Yeah, but like if it's coming out of your tap, it's
Yeah,
not
but
like
that
right?
little bit of oil, I get it, but that little bit of oil isn't gonna do that filters that minute bit of oil they will use for that is nothing compared to the oil that's probably lost in drilling and
Oh yeah,
What-
yeah, no doubt.
what
Did you
comes-
see the fire in Mexico Gulf? The ocean was on fire
yeah.
because Exxon or something had a failure.
All right. Anywho, I'm going for the oil. I don't care what you say.
Yeah, but the grip, I would also say the grip level isn't that great because it's super high grip, but then it can still break. So you will have sort of these grippy patches, and then you had some patches that would break off. And I don't know, it's and when it's like super like packed, then it's like way too high grip.
Did you
So I
see
don't know,
that track?
I'm not a huge fan.
So, all right, see, we're going all over her on a tangent. Did you see the Danish track? I think was oiled from
Yeah,
this
that was
past
old.
weekend.
I didn't like the surface at least.
Oh, I see. I like it. I like it. See how wet it got, and it was so. That's what I'm thinking of right there. Like it's
I don't know.
wet.
I mean, I kind of like the American dirt. The only issue I have is some of the tracks get way too bumpy. But the American style dirt where there's roost coming off and it's like actual dirt, I enjoy that much more.
Yeah, I get that too. All right. Let's talk about your race this past weekend. So you went to where did you race actually? Because I asked Joseph and I said, so what happened? This is what I said to Joseph. I said, so do I have to hide the ropes and sharp objects from you? You lost to Max. It's his home track. It's like his home track. He should beat me anyway. You know, Joseph. And then I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna have all, you know how Joseph, he gets all the excuses going.
Yeah, but I mean, I also beat him at the first race, which was his home track basically. So it's like no excuses.
Yeah, but you won this time.
Yeah, but I finished second in the first one and I flamed out.
All right, but that's just first loser.
But I flamed out in the lead.
So you had all these guys. You had all the same guys like Pekko and Jonas. Was Hatner was there.
Yeah, Hatner was there, and then
so you had the best Finnish guys there.
Yeah, every single one.
And you beat them all.
It was good. Yeah.
What did it just click? Like you got the glow and was like, I'm the last dragon. I got the glow.
Well, not really. I mean, I was clearly the fastest all day. I've been to this track, I think, 2 times, so I kind of know the track.
Right.
Because I don't have any other track. I've been practicing like 3 days this year because we don't have any tracks here. So I kind of knew this track pretty well. And also, like, even in Vasa, I was pretty fast all day. But here, my car was pretty good, actually. For the first time, I really felt comfortable running the longer rear link. And that has quite a lot more corner speed. So, yeah, the car is pretty fast all day. So I messed up the qualifying pretty bad. I should have TQ'd easily. I was like a second faster on best lap in one run. But yeah, I don't know. I just normal day, but this time I was
just a normal day. But you said like your socials have been blowing up since that happened all this week, right?
Oh yeah, I don't know if it's related to that because most of the stuff is just sort of happening all this week. But yeah, I mean,
yeah,
some
people think so.
Contacted me after the win. For some reason, I don't know why it is, but when I finished second behind like Joona, when Joona's been really fast, no one like gives a shit. And then
nobody gives a shit about who came second, man, or who gets beat by the top guy.
Yeah, but like to me, it's a bit weird because a lot of these sort of people just want, hey, first place, nice, but they don't even know who raced there. You know?
Is this AE issue hats? Are we allowed to take pictures in this camouflage hat now?
I guess. Why not?
I don't know. If I was your team manager, I'd punish you for not having.
You want to punish everyone. That's the thing.
Yeah, I'd be like, you should get the cat of 9 tails. No proper AE hat. Congratulations, man. It's good to see. I know you've been trying to get back out there racing, and it's been a long time coming. So good stuff. Congratulations. I guess. Yeah, you've beaten Joseph before, like we said, but this is the first time you've beaten him and you won, I think. So even better.
Yeah, I mean, JQ would have probably finished like 4th without all the other flameouts behind me then, because Joona was second before he had a failure. He had a shock pin or something broke. I mean, he was almost a lap behind, but still, like, he was still second pretty clearly. And yeah.
Oh my gosh! No wonder JQ is in not such a good mood this week.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was actually pretty happy I won. I feel like he came and congratulated me and everything.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's happy at that point, but I'm sure he got home and is like, I need to be faster. What am I doing?
I went there. I think he went there to practice this week. I'm not 100% sure.
Oh well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. He's been doing a lot of that too.
Yeah, but to be honest, like he never has a mechanic at these races, and his preparation is pretty poor. So I mean, really, like he always just finds a mechanic in the morning, and there's you're gonna be a mechanic today.
Yeah, that's always gonna put you on the back foot too.
Oh, definitely. And the thing is, like,
Yeah.
he has to warm up his own car, and then like a lot of people like Pekko and Pekko at least and Ari, all those guys have like their mechanic marshals for them. So like they don't have to, because the time is sort of tight in these Finnish races. So preparing the car and changing everything, you're really not gonna need a mechanic to marshal.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff.
And Joseph
Awesome
has
stuff.
none of that. So he's
I know.
really sort of
I know.
disadvantaged.
Yeah, you need it. Big thing in nitro racing definitely helps to have a pit guy and somebody that you can rely on. It's becoming more of a. I'm even seeing the American racers. I mean, I've always had it, but I'm seeing it start to be a little bit more of an official thing now. Like, you know, they'll have to make sure that guy can be there and he can help him out and all that type of stuff. So yeah, I get that. Joseph's always on the back foot like that. He's so like, you know, like if you have have you pitted for him?
I don't
Like
think I ever pitted for him. No.
Oh my gosh! If you have a pit for him with the headsets on, like the first time you make a mistake or he makes a mistake, he's all confident talking and all that stuff on the microphone, her and all that stuff. But once he starts making a mistake, it's like, what the F is going on? Why did you do that? Oh my gosh! I remember one time when I came in to fill him up and I didn't fill him up properly. You need to get somebody to help you, you stupid fat. I'm like, dude, take it easy. Like, you're gonna win this race. Thank God there's nobody faster or something like that. He says, I would never. And now I have a hole. I don't like to pit anybody. I'm scared now. I have a phobia of it now. Like, you know, now I'm not good for nobody. All right. Anything else?
He's used to like not having the headphones, so he like usually the mechanic doesn't hear when he yells. So maybe he's.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe he's too
Mike
old
Hills
school.
pitted for him and heard him break down. Like, he's like, oh my gosh, he just mentally breaks down completely. Anything else you want to add about the race before we go on any further, Max?
Not really too much. I'm actually the one good thing about Finnish races is like half of the main is like under 18. It's pretty crazy. So
how long was the main actually?
45 minutes always.
Okay.
No questions. And 20 minutes semi.
How many entries are you getting at these races? Excuse me?
Not a lot. Like I'd say 50 entries, 60 entries.
That's still not bad. I mean, Finland's got 4 million people and 20 million reindeer. So, I mean, it's like, it's not, I mean, it's to be expected.
But I mean, it used to be way over 100 at some point.
Really?
Yeah, at least 10 scale races because they have 2 classes.
All right. Well, sweet. All right. You know what, Max? This podcast is also brought to you by manscaped.com. And, you know, they got this new performance package out. And this is what they had to say. They said the sun's out and bums are out. And hopefully your pubes are not out as well. Flip-flop season is upon us. And you're out there with those post-pandemic toenails. Don't worry, our friends at Manscaped have you covered. They just launched their 4th generation performance package and their shares. 2.0 nail grooming kit. Join the Manscaped movement by going to manscaped.com for 20% off your order with free shipping using the promo code NNRC. So the performance package actually has the Lawnmower 4.0, which I just recently got and now has wireless charging. It is waterproof. You can use it if you choose. I don't know why you would be grooming yourself at night. It has a light, or maybe you need to use it to find something. You can turn on the light and you can use it. It has, like I said, wireless charging. It also comes with the kit comes with like a bowl. I know this is funny, but a spray, like a bowl spritzer to freshen up your region down there and keep it smelling nice, which I must admit is very refreshing, and I've used it myself. And I have not got the Shears 2.0 yet, but it's on the way. So I'm excited to see what these do, because you can't be walking around in flip flops with some crusty ass toenails, Max. You got to keep your stuff on point. You can't have crusty toenails. So, Everybody go to
I have great
www. All right, I'll take your word on it. Go to www.manscaped.com. Use the promo code no name in all caps, and you will save 20% off your order. Thank you to Manscaped for your support, and thank you everybody that does something with Manscaped. It's greatly appreciated. All right, Max, couple more things here. NNRC Cup, it's over. We did it. It was kind of, it didn't go as planned near the end. Like Joseph was upset at me. He's like, you should have got better pictures with Mayfield. He doesn't realize there was like a dark, ominous cloud coming where we could possibly have.
We have definitely went through a discussion with JQ. You remember the after the Raw podcast?
Yes.
This will go forever.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, we literally had to say, hey, Ryan, can you get a picture real quick? While everybody around us is pulling on these tents and all this type of stuff. But great concept. I wish it would have been a little bit more. I wish we didn't have to make up a series, and it just was one. They keep saying that Joe is going to have one next year, so we'll see. But we did it. You guys were right. Maybe we should have just gave points to the top 10 like they did in Formula One. So that's something I would change.
But I mean, point like, you remember the point system you introduced by yourself?
Yes.
That was horrific.
It would have been so bad, innit it? It just worked out great. Yeah. Great. Kudos to your point system. Yours was on point.
Well, it's a proper system. So.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. This is like 1 second. But yeah, Mayfield ends up winning by winning 3 races and not attending one. Do you think that's fair? I works out to the points.
But I mean, yeah, you win 3 out of 4. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's an insta win.
I think so too, man.
But I mean, if someone finished second every race, or won the one Mayfield didn't attend and finished second every race, they would have won it.
Yeah, but you have to be consistent. Well, I mean, yeah.
It's you know, like, it's not on. I mean, the reason why Mayfield won by winning, only attending 3 races, was because everyone else was actually pretty inconsistent. You know, no one had 3 podiums or whatever, I don't think. So it's like...
Yeah, I don't even think Tebow was the next consistent guy, and I think he only had maybe 2 podiums, 3 out of...
Yeah. So, like, if the one guy is so consistent that he can finish in the podium 3 times, let alone, like, win 3 times, you know, I think that's already a pretty significant achievement on its own, comparing, like, what the other guys had.
Yeah, it's definitely it worked out though. I think it worked out perfectly.
Clearly. Yeah, Mayfield was a very clear winner. So.
Imagine if like Mayfield would have or Tebow would have won it, but he didn't win the national championship. It would have been so. I was like, oh my gosh, please let whoever wins the national championship win this NNRC Cup. I was like, they would be like, get that cup away from me. I want the real one, like, you know what I mean? So it worked out so perfect for him, man. Mayfield's just such a row. It's amazing. It's amazing. I don't think anybody can beat him right now. Well, we'll see. Let's see how things look after this weekend at the RBC.
Yeah, this weekend is gonna be interesting because Ungaro and Ronefalk will battle for the first time in since Montpellier or something. Yeah. But we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that in a little bit. But first, we're gonna do some quick news items. Are you good with that? Yeah, we're good. All right.
So this week's news is brought to you by Hitec RCD. That's right. Hitec is a sponsor of the podcast. Thank you, Hitec. I think I'll have their general manager on next week to talk about the history of Hitec. It should be interesting. So Hitec RCD is a leader in RC systems, delivering the highest performance and reliability, supported by a dedicated customer service personnel. The servos they use are the HSB 9381TH servos. They have efficient brushless motors, titanium gears, low consumption, constant output, and metal casings. Their charger, this is what they really want you to check out. You can charge with the RDX2 Pro charger. You can charge 2 4-cell packs in just 45 minutes, provide power for your engine, heating, and tire warming needs. It also has a Bluetooth dongle so you can connect and monitor your charging from your phone. So check that charger out. It's actually pretty badass. Trust in Hitec, your servo and charger headquarters. Visit HitecRCD.com, where to buy for your nearest retailer. And I don't know. Yeah, show them some love and check out that new charger. So, a little bit of news, Max. Nothing too serious. I see Kobovic is going to the Florida Carpet Championships. That's turned into a really big carpet race. It's starting to get international guys like him going. A lot of the big guys go there. It's good to see. He's from Norway, right?
Norway, yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. That's good to see. Hopefully we see some more Europeans coming over to America here soon. How does he get to go? So I guess he's just planning on being. Well, then Norway is its own country. It's not related to Europe, right?
No, it's still in EU. So it's not. Well, yeah, it's kind of in the EU.
It's not the EU. It's in the Schengen or whatever treaty or whatever it's called.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard to determine the relationship between Norway and the rest of us. But pretty much, the rules and regulations here are you can go almost anywhere. You will just have to get a lot of the tests done, a lot of paperwork, and it's a real hassle. And then when you go back home, you have to stay 2 weeks in quarantine.
Right.
So it's like you can go if you want to, but you just have to sacrifice so much just to go to one trip. So it's not really worth it, especially if you have a job or anything.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I figured that. I'm guessing maybe vaccines will help too. So let's see if that helps a little bit going into the future here. But good to see. That's hopeful. Maybe we'll see guys like Ronnefalk, which we're going to talk about. Ronnefalk's win in Denmark. It was not as easy as we thought it would be. You pointed that out to me. The Killets were giving him a hard time there in Denmark.
Yeah. Ronnefalk only TQ'd one round, and he was the fastest in the semi, but in the main, Kilic was still leading when he had a DNF. But I mean, Ronnefalk was probably a bit faster, but still, like, Kilic was right on him.
I would say a little bit of ring rust here. Ronnefalk hasn't been racing. The Kilics have been racing in Poland a lot, man.
Oh yeah, they race pretty much every weekend. They're crazy.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they're not going to the IBC. They can't go due to COVID. I learned that. Thank you to all the German guys who told me that they're not going to. They can't. I got that on Facebook. Barkan. So Barkan was leading when he had the failure then.
Oh no, Burak was leading.
Oh, but he still finished third.
Yeah, because No, Burak DNF'd.
All right, I'm confused here.
Burak's servo blew up.
Okay, so
I don't know what happened. I think servo.
Okay. I was a little bit confused by the pictures then. All right. Good warm-up race for David. Pele Comse, I think Pele Comse was third or second at this race.
Third.
He's from Denmark, so probably to be expected. Good race for him warming up for the IBC coming up here this weekend, I would say. It's good to see him getting out of Sweden to race. I guess things are a little bit more open in Denmark.
Well, there's only a bridge between them two, so.
Okay, so he could just drive over there.
Yeah.
Do they have like a customs on the bridge, or like where you have to go through immigration and stuff like that?
No, it's because it's the same country because of EU, so you don't.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if you need a test or something, but it's just you just drive over the bridge and pay the fare, or whatever the sort of the road toll for the bridge,
Okay, sorry, I was getting. Okay, so Barkan came in third. Sorry, or second. Yeah, I got them confused.
Yeah, but I mean, Barkan's been winning like some races. Burak been winning some. I mean, I think Burak is still the one with the ultimate speed. Barkan is sort of just he's like always there, and like when Burak isn't there, Barkan wins. But I think when Burak is sort of like feeling it, like having a good day, I think he's still a lot better than Barkan.
He's like 15 too, so still very young.
They're both like super young. So
Okay. Joey is open up a track at Paris. I was told actually should be getting ready to open soon. So where he has the DNC, he's open up a permanent track. This is gonna be interesting to see.
well, that's probably then gonna be the sort of DNC track from now on.
Yeah. So that would be good. It'd be like old time when he used to have Hammett and see what happens there. That's about all the other news. Upcoming races, like I said, we have the ENATs coming up in 2 weeks. The Big Apple Challenge at Barnstormers is the same weekend. I believe Cole Ogden and Adam Drake are going to that. That would be a decent race for the North. That's a big race for the Northeast guys. You got the Summer Sizzler race. That'll be in Blue Ridge Mountains end of July. And then, of course, you got Wicked Weekend, second weekend of August. Lots of racing coming up, dude. Lots of freaking racing coming up. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's summer break time, so all the countries are having races.
Especially in Europe. Yeah, especially in Europe. Yeah. All right, dude. That's all the news I kind of have this week. We have a few questions. I think we should just get into them, and they are brought to us by Beach RC.
BeachRC.com, the racers' one-stop online hobby shop. Choose from all the popular brands and variety in stock with super fast shipping and great customer service. BeachRC.com still has the local hobby shop feel with all the benefits of the internet. BeachRC.com is the exclusive distributor for Ultimate Racing, JQ Racing, Pro Circuit Racing Tires, Nitro Lux Fuels, and Assault RC Performance products. So, fill up your cart and check out at BeachRC.com today.
Thank you to Beach RC for all the continued support of the No Name RC podcast. It was really awesome to hang out with. Beach RC was right in front of us the whole entire, at the Nationals. And we had a blast. We have an affiliate link. It's in the written description of this podcast. If you guys can use it, it helps us out a lot. So we don't have that many questions, Max, but let's see. So first up, we have Benjamin James. Will we see the return of the 10 scale Nitro Stadium truck class? I don't think so. I think you may see it pop up at some races as a class. It might be an exhibition race, but I don't think it's gonna come back just because it's just really hard. Even with these new conversion kits by Ignite RC Designs, they're really great. I haven't heard any complaints about them, but it's an expensive startup and it's a hard thing to drive. But maybe, who knows? But I don't think we'll ever see it how it was back in the day. Truggy destroyed that. Truggy is just so much easier to drive, so I don't think so.
Yeah, I would agree that the cars are a bit too small for most A-scale tracks these days. I feel like the old days, the tracks were a lot slower speed and all that, so it was easy to control. And also one thing I thought about was sort of because of the fact that the manufacturers don't have a car, they're really not gonna push any of the drivers to run that class. So like it'll be sort of a fight from the manufacturers just because they don't want to do a new car, even though like they don't really have to fight it, they just have to not let the drivers run it. So I think they're gonna try to hold on to Truggy for now because it's such a better class for the manufacturers. And then like I still think there'll be like sort of exhibition races as you said, but that's probably gonna be it.
Yeah. Even though these new kits, they'll be sturdier. They'll be using components from modern cars, geometry as well. They look really good though. The guys down in Australia have them. Zach Ryan and Ben Panic and them guys have them. They like them. Wally's building one, Alosi one. So if you guys are interested though, go to Ignite RC Designs or Ignite Design RC. Sorry, check out Chad Parks. He's making them. Keith Henry, what's up, Keith? What is the current best in-car POV system? I don't know. Does anybody out there who does POV, can they give us an idea? I've never done POV in my life, so I don't know.
I don't know.
Sorry,
what is it they use on drones? I think my little brother has one of those. Those are pretty good.
Oh yeah, your brother races drones.
No, but he has one just for fun.
I didn't even know you had a little brother.
Really? I think I mentioned it.
What's his name? Max
His
too.
name is Rex.
Rex,
Yeah.
like Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah, kind of.
So you got Max and Rex.
Mhm.
I did not know you had a brother that was named
Well,
Rex.
not now you know, and he can fly a drone pretty well actually.
How old is he?
Doesn't practice. He's 18 now.
Oh, so he's not that much younger than you.
Yeah. Like
I never
I'm
knew
21.
this. He never raced RC cars.
Well, he did for some times, but he was never like he never was like wanting to be competitive. So he just wanted to have fun with them. He had like one of those Ken Block drifter cars. Remember those?
Oh, right, yes.
The Traxxas Ken Block edition or something.
I did not know you had a brother named Rex.
I'm so amazed how blown away by this information.
I did not know that. I didn't know you had a brother named Rex who was 2 years younger than you that flies drones. Did not know that. All right. GF Rami RC. What's up, G-Spec? How you doing, man? JQ guy, great dude. Can the same shock package be run on a car that is 250 to 300 grams heavier? If not, what changes should be considered? Thanks. So I'm assuming it's probably running e-buggy, maybe looking to make up for that weight.
Yeah.
Would you go to a heavier shock oil?
Well, he said he's bottoming out, right? Or
No, he just said, can the same shock package be run on a car that's 250 to 300 grams heavier? So I'm guessing
Well,
if...
yeah, kind of like from nitro to e-buggy. I mean, most likely not really. I mean, I usually run same shock oils and just go to one sort of one jump to a thicker spring. That's pretty much the only thing I do. But probably would be better just to have a different piston as well at some points. But it's just I kind of always want to make my e-buggy just to feel like my nitro. So I don't
Right,
have
so
two different setups.
So what would you go to in piston wise?
Probably just to have more pack because the car is heavier. So sort of less holes and bigger holes. So to have more pack on it. Make it
Yeah,
better
so
on
it
jump.
doesn't, yeah, because you know that extra weight from the e-buggy, especially when you're
Yeah.
coming off jumps and all that stuff, it does, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I sometimes even went to thicker oils if it was like because some tracks are just so that you have really steep bumps, so the e-buggy just flats out a lot. So you have to go the thicker oil. But I mean, if you're talking about nitro car, then I think it matters. Like if you wanna sort of optimize the car weight and then tune the shock package with it, then I think it's a much more sort of close. You have to make small like details that you have to improve that you actually get the package to working for your weight because like the thing is our setups are tuned for how much the car weighs basically. So basically you
Right.
tune sort of the weight that's moving around when you're tuning a setup, and if you move that moving weight, the setup is completely wrong because it's supporting in the wrong places and it moves
Right, I get that.
faster, and so that's sort of the biggest thing here to get the shock package working in the corners, not really the jumps or whatever.
Okay. Good stuff. Chris Blackwell. Yeah, you went super science mode.
I went super science mode.
I
Almost
know.
messed up myself.
I know you went like when you started. I had you to you went to e-buggies and this and that, and then I was like, okay, I lost him.
Yeah.
I hope that the listeners caught that. Chris Blackwell, what pro circuit compounds would you compare to the S3 or S4?
I don't know. I haven't run the new pro circuit compounds, but
Yeah,
the old tires were so that they were sort of on the hand they felt a bit stiffer, but on the track they felt still soft. So you would always have to go one stiffer than the other brands usually. So if the other went super soft, you went soft and so on. But
yeah. I think Joseph
new
would have been a
compounds I
good.
don't really know. Yeah, Joseph runs Pro Circuit from time to time, so
Yeah, he would have been better for that one. All right, so we got some
Yeah.
Instagram questions. HyperFox 21s, 2.1. HyperFox 2.1. I like that. Was told by someone to look ahead of your car and not directly at your car. What are the fast guys actually focusing on while racing? Here you go, Max. You're semi-fast. Are you looking ahead of your car?
I usually look at the car, but I sort
Yeah.
of like it kind of depends. If it's a certain type of corner where I need to hit the apex, I look at the corner. If it's just like it's a bumpy corner or whatever, I just look at the car because then I can see more. But I would say it's sort of like if you're looking behind the car, that's wrong. Like at any point, if you're looking behind the car, that's wrong. So it's more of the fact that you look in front of the car than behind it, but it most of the time is between looking in front or looking at the car. But that's probably where most like even fastest guys are at. I don't really
Yeah,
buy
I
the
would.
theory that you can only be fast if you look in front of the car.
I think you probably got your eyes on both somehow. You know,
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
like
but I
you
mean, at
focus on your
times.
car and just on your peripheral vision. You're just like, all right, I know that's coming.
Yeah. And the thing is, most pros can see if cars are crashed in front of you. They don't need someone to spot for you most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But like beginners, they have no clue where some cars are, even like semi-level drivers, because they don't have sort of the time to watch the surroundings.
Yeah. Be interesting. I should ask some top pro guys next time I go.
Yeah.
Hey, when you
But
drive, do you
I
do
mean,
this?
I probably look more the car than in front, but I do look in front at times.
Yeah, especially like you. Sometimes you just catch something other. I'm not saying that I'm nowhere near fast, or
Yeah.
even you just catch something like just out of the corner of your eye, and it's just okay. You know somebody has had an accident or something like that there. Or
Yeah.
crash. All right, Dread24. What's up, Corey? How you doing? He asks, are older high-end radios worse than newer high-end radios, or is just a marketing thing for like buggy bodies? Do they make a difference? I think he's talking about maybe like guys preferring the M12 over the M17. Maybe
Yeah.
I think that's what he
Yeah.
was referring to.
Yeah. To be honest, like the feeling you get from the car and between the transmitter, that's probably the same from M11X to here, because I slow down the frequency on it. I run the sort of this, I don't know what's it called, feeling or whatever. I run it the slowest one, and then like I don't even run the super sensitive response or whatever, the high mode on the sort of the transmitter and the receiver connection, because you can have it on higher sort of frequency. So I don't even have that on. I have it the feeling on low. So pretty much you don't need the speed. The connection is nothing. It's not like lagging or anything. So it's not like there's anything to improve that way. And the only real improvement these new radios have is like you have more features. For example, like lap times, and you can tune the curve better. You can do the speed better. All that kind of stuff. That's sort of better on the new radios. But like driving wise, I don't buy that there's any real benefit.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I haven't driven one. I see that Tebow went back to KO Pro. He went to Sanwa for a minute and is going back to KO Pro.
Yeah,
I think
but
he's
I
probably
think that's-
thought, yeah.
I think that's the long throttle, because KO has like the longest throttle of any radio, and Sanwa has one of the shortest. So like you get much more throttle feel with the KO radios. I think that's what was his issue.
Yeah, I think he's looking for every little thing to,
Yeah.
you know,
But I mean,
he's a little bit,
he's always driven a KO radio, and it's
yeah.
actually like you would get surprised how long the throttle lever is. At least the older ones, they were like super long.
He's just used to it, and it's going to be, you know, when you're used to something like that. And he's a guy that actually, in his throttle, if you listen to Tebow throttle, he uses a lot of minute micro inputs.
Yeah.
So you hear him
But
like,
it's much easier to do with a longer throttle lever because you
exactly.
can control it. So, yeah.
You can hear it like he'll be like little like
Yeah,
that's
I
what is
know.
yeah.
Ongara
So-
kind of does it too, but he does it much more aggressive. He sort of snaps on the throttle, you know?
This is
He just
crazy.
taps on it. It's like in the mirror of the corner. Then
Wow.
it sounds like the engine is lean, but it isn't because he taps the throttle so fast.
Amazing. Fred Costa RC team. Why don't you lose steering when add toe in on hub? X toe. I think he's talking about the outer toe on the JQ
Oh
cars.
yeah, because you can tune it from the hub. Well, you do lose steering actually, but for some reason the effect is a much smaller when you have the toe in from the hub than when you have it from the inside of the arm. So it's like usually how I went through with it was if I'm running like if I raise half a degree from the inside of the arm, I have half a degree more toe in, it would be pretty much the same as 1 degree on the hub, usually.
Okay.
So you would always need to have more on the hub to get like the same feeling on the car.
Right.
Even though like the way it scrubs the corners is different. So that's why I prefer having the toe from the inside of the arm because you can feel the car more, but then you would still have less scrub on the end. So that's the way I do it. I can't remember what was his specific question. Like, what
he was
like
asking, why don't you
did he
lose
have
steering when you add
Oh, yeah.
toe?
Yeah, but you actually do, but you might not feel it as well if you tune it from the outside hub.
Okay. Well, he also
the
says to
hub on the
ask
outside.
JQ. He says to ask
Yeah.
JQ, but you're just as good. Just as good. All right. What's up, RC Kevin? How you doing, man? Up there in Quebec. They have the Quebec Classic coming up next month too. How much clutch maintenance is important? What to do and when outside of clutch bearings? Man, I think clutch maintenance is something that is greatly overlooked in nitro racing. I mean, you just gotta check them. You know, you gotta make sure like when there's you gotta take your barrel off, check your clutch, make sure it didn't get in those mushroom. You know, getting file or cut those edges off. Clean your clutch bell. If the bearings are good, sometimes you can reuse them. If not, use new ones. I mean, clutch bell bearings cost $1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I usually blow them out. I used to soak the bearings in like carbon choke cleaner and then blow them out and then put a drop of like oil in there with them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what a lot of people do. And you can even run them dry. They last pretty well that way as well.
At $1 a piece, they're just expendable. Like, I would rather put new one. I would say if it's still okay, I'll say I would save them and use them for practice or something else. But
yeah, that's what I usually do. But every time I change the clutch, I always change the bearings because it's like you can use them in practice or whatever. But like usually about the clutch, it's just like you will know, like when you drive it enough, you know when it's like worn out when you look at it. That's how I always done it. So because some clutches you can run really worn out, they'll be fine. But some you just know there's a limit where you can run it. And that's just knowing like what the sort of clutch shoe looks like and then just going by that. That's what I usually do. Because it's really hard to explain. I mean, Associated has some tool for it, but I don't think it's like really doing the right
how's
thing.
your clutch with the Associated 4-shoe clutch? How's the longevity of it?
It depends. When it's like kind of low grip, it lasts almost forever. But when it gets high grip, you really have to go to a thicker spring pretty soon. It kind of wears out quickly at sometimes. But like low grip, it lasts like almost forever. Because JQ clutch was sort of like, it always wore out. I mean, it did wear out quicker when it was higher grip, but it always wore out really fast. But like the A shoes are much hotter, so they also slip a bit more. So I mean, there's goods and bads to each. I mean, one thing, the associate clutch is much easier to maintain. You know, you just take the pins out, put them back in. So
I love that. Like, I hate 3-shoe clutches. It's one of my pet. I mean, I can do them and put them on and all that stuff, but I just hate them. Like with these awesome 4-shoe clutches, I just be running them. But yeah, definitely, and it's a part of maintenance that's so overlooked. My buddy Alex, who's like a super guru here. This guy's super smart. He would always say, hey, if I'm going to touch your engine, make sure your clutch is good, you know? And he was like, it always starts. It's like, people want you to tune their engines. I want to make sure that their clutches are done before I start tuning engines.
Yeah.
So that's how important a clutch is, man. Seriously. All right. I think that's all the questions. I have a question for you, Max. I thought of this one day while I was watching. I was listening to a action figure podcast. But you know what, Max? We have to plug some sponsors and say thank you. So here at the NNRC, we are all about the glory, and that glory is Nitro. If you guys didn't know, then you're in the wrong place, because Nitro is the glory here at the NNRC. TNR Fuels is the hottest nitro fuel in the market, owned and operated by racer Chris Nelson and his family. Made by racers for racers. TNR Fuels is currently available throughout the USA. They have them in many hobby shops around America, and especially in the West Coast. So, you know, if you're on that side, you can check them out. If you're interested in getting some TNR Fuels for yourself, or getting your hobby shop set up with them, try to support a company that actually supports racers, go to www.tnrfuels.com, or you can hit up Chris Nelson directly at chris@tnrfuels.com, or find them on House of RC or Facebook and send them a message. So hit up TNR Fuels. Thank you, Chris Nelson and his family, for supporting the podcast. We greatly appreciate it. For racers, by racers. All right, Max. So I had this idea, right? I want to build the ultimate racer. So I'm going to ask you, you can take 4 qualities from any racer, past or present, to build your ultimate racer. You need to tell me who you're going to take and why.
Is it going to be like we're trying to build the absolute best, or like my favorite? That I would
like what you would want, and explain why.
So definitely Ongaro's throttle finger. That I want. So
you have to have you have to have a stick radio.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to have a stick.
So you lose points for having a stick radio, or should we give you points for having a stick radio, because it's actually what people don't use? So you're using a rare type of weapon, so you're gonna get 10 more points. You're just using a stick radio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, So next one. Next would be. I don't really. Well, maybe sort of like, because JQ always tells me how Yannick Aiguan, he always had like weird setups. I believe it's about him. Like, he had no roll bars, or like super thick roll bars or whatever. He had like always like super crazy setups. So I would like to have that as well, because like then no one else can copy your setup. If you're super fast, like, no one else is gonna be fast. So that's always like a good thing.
So you got Ongaro Igon for his setup. It's crazy setup.
Yeah, I mean, I could be wrong. If I think it's Igon who JQ always talks about.
Okay.
But yeah, so him, and then it's gotta be Mayfield. Like the way he runs the main final, like if he doesn't throw his radio, like the way he runs his final, like when he gets up front, takes off, wins by lap. Like that is something like Ongaro lacks. Iguan never won like big races. Well, Euros obviously, but like he missed out on the Worlds because of some bad luck. Mayfield never has that. He always delivers.
No, he has bad luck. Remember, he didn't make the national finals for 2 years, and he had bad luck.
But but lately, you're talking present form.
Yes.
Yeah. So Iguan, like Ongaro, always like they have something, like some things go on, but like especially from the lead. But like Mayfield, if he gets in the lead, he's easy, wins. And then the 4th quality, right? So that's gonna be hard. I can't really think of anything. Maybe Tebow's fuel mileage. This driver is gonna be awful to make, but like, how do you do this in one driver? But like the way Tebow handles his fuel mileage and his throttle, it's like with Ongaro's like preciseness of the throttle. And with Tebow's, like the way he sort of saves the fuel, I think it's gonna be a perfect mix. And then like Mayfield, you have it there, into the lead, wins the race by a lap. And then Iguan, no one can copy your setup. That's a perfect sort of. That's a perfect driver.
That's your perfect driver?
Yeah.
That's your perfect or your favorite? That's your favorite.
My favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I would real quick, I would take Greg Degon's guile and hard work to become a world champion first. I have that. Like, not when I mean like that, like whatever it takes to win, he done it. Like mind games, whatever. You know what I mean? Polishing shock shafts, all that type of stuff. stealing tires, that type of stuff, doing everything to win, even when everybody thinks he's not. I'll have that in him. I definitely have Mayfield for his 60-minute, his ability to finish mains right now. Ronafalk for his professionalism and his confidence. And I don't know who the fourth one would be. I would be I don't know, because then I want him to be a little bit wild too. So maybe I want him to be. There'll be a little.
Barufalo.
Yeah, but like Barufalo by winning.
that's
have Barufalo's wildness, but Mayfield's ability to finish, and compiled with Ronafalk's professionalism and confidence, and Greg Degan's will to win at any costs. Yeah. That's the ultimate heel right there. I think I've made.
I think you got excited by this because they built a really cool sort of figure or whatever in the Nerf
but I know I was thinking about this, and as I was waiting on my travels trying to come home. So what do you guys think if you had to the listeners, if you had to choose 4 qualities from 4 racers past to present to make your favorite racer, what would they be? Please tell us in the comments and write down why you would it. So you have this driver because of this driver because of that. We want to know. All right, Max, we got to go on to the SCRC Dawn and Quiet real quick. And then we have a rant this week, a small one, but it's to do with fuel tanks.
Yeah, I mean, hey, like one thing is we've been doing so much of these like race podcasts. We never we have it's been so long since we've done like a regular podcast where we go through all these segments. It's always like race podcast.
I know, so it's been good. We haven't even started to talk about the IBC yet. We forgot all about that. We got all excited about that. Yeah. We're going to talk about it in this. We'll talk about it in this because it's about permanent tracks. So let's go to the Sun City RC Raceway. Dawn and Quiet. No, is this Dawn and Quiet? Yeah, this is Dawn and Quiet.
Mm-hmm. Sun City RC Raceway, the home of El Paso's world-famous motocross-inspired 8-scale off-road track. The Showers family has over 20 years experience creating one of the premier tracks in the USA. Their world-class facility has everything: handicap accessibility, covered beds, gate starts, space for parking RVs, trailers, and lights for night racing. Follow SCRC on Facebook under Sun City RC Raceway for updates, upcoming races, or host your own race.
Yes, thank you to Joey, Showers, Corbin, and Christian for their support of the podcast. We greatly appreciate it. I don't know, Sun City's got some races coming up here soon. It's summertime, I'm sure it's hot. I haven't spoke to him for a minute, but I need to contact them, see what they got going on. If you guys are in the El Paso area, give the Showers family a look up and go check out their awesome facility. And if you're looking to put on a race and you're looking for a place to hold it, go check them out. They'll hold it for you. So they bring you this week's Dawn and Quiet. So Max, the International Buggy Challenge coming up here this weekend. Probably the first big race since COVID. I would say this is the first big race since let's say the Euros. I would say
probably Montpellier.
Montpellier, yeah, I would say Montpellier. That these guys got together, but that was Montpellier 2020. They're off to Barcelos in Portugal, which is João Figueiredo's track. If you guys have been paying attention to my socials, I've been kind of doing some write-ups on the drivers. I still have a few more to do. I don't think that they're going to have streaming of this race, but I think Info RC is going to be there. And according to Yao, he says that they will do English as well. I talked to him. Let me just bring up his info right here. He says it will be Info RC and some other company that does it. Hold on. Anywho, first big race, first big Euro race, man.
Yeah.
I wish he was going. I wish Joseph was going too. But wow, I'm excited for this race. I really am. How about you?
Yeah, Ongara and Ronafog is going to be amazing. That's all I'm really waiting for.
Mm-hmm.
Just seeing, like,
really?
they've been battling. Yeah, they've been battling for like so long, but like it's like they've had like a 2-year break of any battles. So it's gonna be great.
Well, the last time they got together was DNC, and Ronafog won that in 2020. Sorry, RC Special is going to be also doing some coverage of it, according to y'all Figueredo. Let's track looks beautiful, beautiful track. Glue, it's a glue track, I'm told. So they are treating it with water and glue, which I have experience with, which makes the track. It's super high grip at first, like too much. Then once you get some. But I mean, and it wears tires on fast, but you can run kind of slicks on it. But once it gets that top groove on it, that rubber groove on it, it gets better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The only thing, it gets hard, and it can be hard on like plastics and stuff like that. So whereas maybe a mistake that you would have made before on a softer Lumia track, you get away with it. Maybe on this track you don't, because it's just harder. So. I mean, okay. One of the points of this Dawn and Quiet was I started seeing some of our American listeners asking, "Oh, that's the same layout for the last 3 years or whatever." And I think I'm sure it is the same footprint. I mean, that's how European tracks are. I think they might have changed some features. And
it's definitely a bit different than last year. But anyway, it's still the same sort of the base.
Yeah, but this is European tracks. This is European tracks.
Yeah.
Even
that's how it's always.
one guy even said, because I wrote something about Ungaro. I said that Ungaro. I brought up the thing about Ungaro not yet winning on American soil, right? And so another guy's, well, does Mayfield go over and race in Europe? And I said, does he beat them? I said, no, not really. The Americans don't come over to Europe much. But he goes, well, do you expect Davide to come to America and beat Mayfield? I said, well, Ronafog's won DNC twice. And Elliot Boots has won Silver State. So there is definitely, some that. Sorry, that's going off on a tangent about that. But basically, I guess what they're trying to say is that it's unfair because these are permanent tracks, right? We get this argument a lot from the American racers because, their tracks are built where they can change layouts more frequently, right?
Yeah, but
Go ahead.
The thing is, like, for this, I don't think Ongaro has ever been to this track. So if Mayfield was on the go here, he will be just as much practice on the track as Ongaro. So there'll be like no excuses there. Like there have been like a few Euros where some track is some other drivers. For example, Ongaro Ring, where actually Berton won the championship. Even though it's Ongaro's backyard, the track. So this home advantage is just excuses.
Ongaro was not even really all that fast in the Euros, like that last Euros.
The track was a bit weird for the Euros, but anyway, like it helps definitely, yes. But it's not like you can't win if you're not practicing there. It's just an excuse.
I think so too. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about American tracks, that they can be changed so much too. You know what I mean? That's something that can't be done in Europe.
But that's a different style, like European tracks sort of like they take from like Formula One or whatever. Those like Monaco has been the same track like 60 years. So like RC tracks
I get that. That was actually my point about the Dawn and Quiet, is that it doesn't really matter, man. The cream will always rise to the top anyway. So the fast guys are going to be fast no matter where they go. It just is what it is. But back to this race, man. Let's talk about the significance of this race and what it means. So we can pretty much call this a Euros almost. I mean, yes, it does not have many people, but it has some of the main competitors. Yeah,
some of them, I don't know, maybe I don't know. I wouldn't even call this Euros warm-up, really.
Okay, not a Euros warm-up. It's the closest thing we're going to get to a Euros this year.
Yeah, that works better, yeah.
So this is a big deal. I'm happy to see it. Coelho is going to race there too. A lot of local Portuguese guys. I think you might see some of the local guys doing well. Just also because there just won't be a lot more, like there won't be a lot of international guys on that level traveling to this race. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, one thing also is Spain has a lot of really fast guys, like young guys, really fast that are actually like crazy fast at times. So they could have a few surprises here. I feel like there's a chance.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible. Miguelo did the touch-ups on the track. It just looks so great, man. I just can't get over how it looks so, like, with the red infield. Even though I know all that stuff's gonna be gone, I just think it's always a great way to start out a race. It just looks so great. And
it's much better that way. Like, I remember even at the Worlds where they used carpet on it in Vegas. Like, even then when it got really dusty and whatever, it still looked really cool.
Yeah. They probably should have been on there and vacuumed it. No, I'm only joking. All right, so you think this is just going to be about Ronafalk and Ongaro? You're not giving no props to Battier, no Coelhos, no Canas. You got Marco going.
Canas is definitely going to be in the fight. Marco, I don't think he's going to be in the fight.
Berton.
Berton's going to be okay, but it really depends on the track. I feel like his car, at least from the videos, looks really hard to drive. So the setup.
Is he running a prototype car, Infinity now?
Oh yeah, he's been running that for 2 years already.
Okay, wow, 2 years they still ain't got a finished product. Wow.
Yeah, but
that's crazy.
COVID though. I mean,
COVID. Yeah, I'm sure that stopped him. I don't think it did.
Yeah. But I mean, they don't want to release a product when it's COVID.
Right, I get that. I get that. Boots is going. There's a lot of fast guys going to this race, Max.
I don't know. Boots has been struggling recently.
He's got Very with him now.
Yeah, but I mean, last UK Nationals, he finished third.
That's all right. We're talking about this race now.
Yeah, but like Boots has been off form. So
first race for Ongaro, no Very. No, first big race.
He's been racing in Italy. He's been racing in Italy.
First big race with no Very.
But I mean, Italian races have like all the same drivers except for Battier.
First big race with no Very. All this means stuff.
I don't know. What does this mean? Is this some spiritual thing you're talking about?
This is all mind games. Like, you had that guy, Very. Like, I'm telling you, like, if I'm on Garo's camp, I'm like, this guy knows all my secrets about how to go fast.
Yeah, but like, I don't. My take on this is like Ongaro and Ronafalk are gonna be much faster than anyone else.
Really, I think you're gonna see.
Ronafalk
have no doubt that they are.
And Canas is probably going to be almost as fast, but not fast enough. That's my take on this. Figueredo might be okay, but probably not as fast.
Really?
That's my take on this. Yeah. But the
I
thing
mean,
is, like, Ongaro is going to be fast, no doubt. He's going to be fast. If he isn't, something's going weird. But he's going to be fast. Then Ronafalk might be good, might be bad. Then Canas is going to be right up there, but not there.
Might be good, might be bad. That's the only two choices you got. Like, either you're good or you ain't.
But like, he might be really good, or he might be like 10th, after qualifying.
I don't think he'll be that bad. It's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I think Ronafalk.
Those are just my takes, though. Like, that's the way I see this race going. Like, I don't see any other way.
You don't have anybody beating those two. Interesting. I think Coelho could beat him. I think
maybe, but he doesn't have Testmans, or like he doesn't have a sort of like Euros was a different case, He had Testmans there. The X-ray was like all there for nothing.
Yeah, I kind of find I really can't argue with you that I don't think it's going to be the Ronafalk and Ongaro show. I can't argue that fact. I'm trying to.
You're trying to make it sort of like there's more exciting than there actually is, but
it is exciting.
There is. But the thing is, like, Barufalo always struggles on tracks like this. Then Figueredo isn't really fast enough. At least he wasn't fast enough when they last raced. And then like Robert is like he can be there in the main, but like is it enough? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So that only leaves Ronafalk and Ongaro.
And you're forgetting Boots. Berton.
Yeah, but Boots. I said Boots is lost, and Berton is a question mark. He can be like fourth, or he can be okay and finish second.
Oh my gosh! What if Ongaro is just completely off?
I mean, he could be, but I doubt it. Because
I forgot. Yeah, that's your teammate too. You gotta stick up for him. I forgot your team associated now.
No, but like there's tracks he can struggle. Like DNC, he struggles. Not surprised. Like RCGP and Thunder Rally, he struggles a bit. Not
Mm-hmm.
surprised. But like tracks like this, he don't struggle, you know?
Okay.
There's no struggle on tracks like this.
Got you. So you want to make predictions then?
Yeah, well,
Wow.
I kind of made mine already.
All right.
Mine
So
was
who's
like,
going? No, you got to pick a
Mine
winner.
winner? Yeah, Ongaro.
All right. I'm going with the fucking Viking. There.
Yeah, but you're a fanboy.
I love the Viking. He's awesome. My upset to bin Boots or Madman Marco.
Yeah, I'm saying for upset win, I would actually say Robert. I think that would be an upset win. I'm gonna go
And-
far. Maybe
and
Robert
Canas-
will see this and get mad and win. But
And Canas
I
in
don't
the
know.
top 3.
yeah, Canas is most likely gonna be in the top 3.
Yeah. Actually,
matter what happens.
Canas could win this. Like, what are we talking about? He could
Yeah,
win
but like
this.
but most races, like big races, he isn't just there. He's always like second or third, you know. Even at RCGP, sometimes he was the fastest, but he was like not quite there.
Amazingly fast. Amazingly fast.
Yeah, he is fast, but he like just weird. He's almost there.
I just hope we get decent coverage or at least decent video. Like, I know it's not going to be streamed, but we could get some decent video. I was thinking maybe we might want to.
Inforce is actually really good. They do.
Yeah,
really
he does a
videos.
good
They,
job.
like film every Spanish race and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So, tune into the hobby. Tune into to our Facebook page, and we'll direct people to whatever videos we can find. Info RC and RC Special. I need to find RC Special on Facebook too. It's gonna be great. We're gonna talk about it next week. I am picking the Viking to take it because I'm that confident in his skills. He will shrug Denmark off. Actually, he still won. He just didn't win
he
in
went all right.
dominating fashion that I expect him to win in. So I'm still picking him. It's a shame the Killix aren't there. It's a shame the Killix aren't there, and a lot of people aren't
Yeah,
there.
actually,
but-
this race would have been good race to see what their speed is like actually,
Mm-hmm.
because they race on tracks like high grip tracks now, so that's not an excuse or anything. So like, I think this race would have been really good, sort of, to show where their pace is.
Awesome. All right, well, we'll tune into that, and you guys can too. Follow the NNRC Facebook page. If you aren't liking our page, go give it a like. We're like 70 away from 4,000 likes. Follow us on Instagram. Also, on our YouTube channel, hit that sub button and that like button and that notification button. And for this guy's YouTube as well. So, Max Mort. Links will be in the written description. All right, I think that's all I have to say about that, right, Max? You have anything to add before we go on? Because I'm going on to the main interview, and then I'll be back with you for the rant.
Yeah, well, not really. I mean, I'm going to Poland probably. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm probably going to Poland for this RC camp. So stay tuned for news about that.
Oh yeah, I talked to that dude too.
Yeah, so I think he'll be on the podcast next week, and we're just sending out if the details work out. And yeah, probably going to be there at the start of next month in August. Then on my YouTube channel, I'm trying to get it released this week. The last episode of season 1, so episode 15, it's sort of celebration. It's about springs, and it's going to be, I'm really trying to get it released on Friday, but I'll see what I can do.
All right.
Then last episode of season 1, sort of, we got it one season down. Next winter probably going to be a next one, not sure yet. So yeah, I think that's probably it. A lot of things going down this week.
Yeah, well, good stuff, man. We'll talk more about Poland next week, or in the rant here in a minute. All right, Mike. I don't know why I called you Mike. I've been around Mike so long, I just call you Mike. All right, Max. It's time to go on to the Tekno RC main interview with my good buddy Colin Branch of Maclan Racing.
Tekno RC. Tekno RC. Tekno RC is a premium manufacturer specializing in 8th and 10th scale high-performance off-road RC buggies and trucks. Visit www.teknorc.com for a complete catalog of their products. Tekno RC. Excellence in engineering. Hashtag Tekno Takeover.
Joining me this week on our first podcast back after the USA trip is a friend of mine. I got to meet him in 2019 at the RCGP USA round. I say I didn't get to hang out with him much, but I got to just speak to him. I was kind of busy, but I've also been on a podcast with him, and we talk now and then. I like to welcome, and he's been on the podcast before, so I like to welcome Mr. Colin Branch. How are you, dude?
Hey, how you doing, Lefty? It's good to be here. Thank you.
I know last time you was on, you didn't have such a epic beard going on. You're looking like Gandalf almost.
That's funny because you're not the first person to say that.
Oh man. Thank you for coming back on. I know we was trying to do this before I actually went to America, because it was just after the race in Tulsa, I believe, and I wanted to talk to you about it and pick your brain. But that didn't happen. So now we're just catching up after that. So a lot's been happening for you, man. A lot's happened to you in the last year and a half.
It's been a crazy year. We never could have predicted anything like this when we started all this drag race stuff, and it's just kind of exploded and taken off, and we're just riding that wave and having fun with it.
I know. The last time you was on, you was still a Serpent team manager, I believe. You was doing the Track Walk podcast, which you guys aren't doing anymore. I think Travis is going full into the SOAR with his dad, with the SOR and scale stuff, right?
Right. Yeah. That one, I don't know. It just kind of fizzled out, and we ran out of time. We just so many things going on, and we didn't have time to continue doing it. But I missed doing it. It was fun.
Yeah, it was. And you guys weren't racing much up there either at the time, so it's hard to talk about racing. And your podcast kind of focused on your regional racing as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there wasn't much racing going on, so it was hard to come up with things to talk about. We tried having guests.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff. It's just hard to put together a decent show without much to talk about.
I know it was hard. It was hard to come up with content in 2020. Period, with no racing going on. I knew all about that. All right. So, like I said, a lot has changed. You don't run TLR. I'm sorry. You don't run Serpent anymore. You resigned from there. You were, I believe, you were the Maclan USA team USA manager at that time too, or did this happen recently?
No, that was after I left. I'm local to Maclan, so I know the owner and that kind of thing. And I was a dealer for them for a while, and then I got put on the team, and it just kind of grew from there, and got to know the owner and hang out, and and he liked what I was doing, so he asked me to be the team manager. So, all
right. So, but you like I said, you was the Pacific Northwest Serpent manager. Then you went to TLR, which you've been with for a while, for now over a year, I would say, which has been very fruitful. I mean, TLR is definitely big up there in your area as well. TLR has grown immensely, period, this year, since last year, since Tran came on, really, when Thomas Tran came on. So congratulations on that. I know you guys have a decent team up there in the Pacific Northwest as well.
Yeah. TLR has really grown up here. They've got a great regional manager in Luke Eunice, and they're doing a great job of bringing the right people on, and the popularity of the product is growing. The support's really good. So I'm very happy to be there and help them, and to have them help me even. It's a great team. We all pit together and have a good time and support each other, and it's going really well.
Yeah, TLR has just did a complete 180 from where it was, let's say, about 3 years ago, 2018, when I first saw them. So that's a good thing to see. But like Maclan is kind of blown up too. I know you guys have Tebow. I see a lot of just regular guys running you guys' products. You seem to have some loyal guys in there. That's good to see. Tell us a little bit more about Maclan, like these products, and like you said, they're local to you. So now that things are kind of exploding, what's going on?
To me, Maclan's always been like a higher end kind of on-road, off-road tent scale company, and they came up with, I guess now it's been a little while, but it was mainly tent scale, and I'd run their stuff and I loved it. So it was a no-brainer for me to just keep running it, and it eventually turned into where I am now. But it's still on-road and off-road is still a big focus for the company, but it's kind of being overshadowed by this DRK drag racing stuff, where that's kind of I don't know how we've done it or to the but we're just killing it. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, it's really crazy. Well, I guess we should talk about that because you linked up with Tim Smith. You also you said I should listen to, which I haven't listened to I must admit I haven't listened to the Speed Shop in a while. I'm kind of behind on my podcasts. But I listened to a bit of it today. You've become now a co-host with him on the podcast, so you do have something to talk about. But it only makes sense. You and Tim's been linked for now like a year. How did that all come about?
Yeah, I met Tim in Phoenix it was almost exactly a year ago. Didn't really know him very well. I'd listened to his podcast, that sort of thing. But that was right about the time we had kind of decided to do the drag racing thing a little bit. And I went down there to do some testing in the heat. And I had the prototype software on the speed control and all that kind of stuff. And all that. I hung out and kind of hit it off, and we had the same thoughts on things, and hearing what his ideas were and all that kind of thing. It was just a perfect match. And our relationship just kind of grew over the next 6 months. And he was with Tekin at the time, and so there was no pressure or anything like that. It was just the more we talked, happened. Yeah, the more we talked, the more we realized that we're all on the same page, and we have the same visions and ideas and stuff, and that we could do big things together.
Right.
That's it. Just kind of happened. He started trying a bunch of different stuff near the end of last year, and he tried some of our stuff, and he couldn't believe it. He fell in love with it, and we just started talking more about it. And we're like, hey, why don't we just work together? You're kind of doing your own thing right now, and we want to work. So let's just work together on this and see how far we can take it.
Yeah, for sure. So let's talk about this Drag Race King. It's a special ESC motor combination. We're gonna get into a little bit more about no prep as well. But I remember Tim telling me about this too. He was like, "Yeah, I'm getting involved with this." I think it was prior to it actually announced. So I'm pretty like. This seems to be taking the drag world by storm. I mean, you guys went from Maclan, okay, there's Maclan, then Tim joined you guys, and then boom, you guys are blown up. You do King of the Streets, which was in February. Then we just do the Tulsa race. And I believe you guys won King of the Streets, right? Yeah.
Both the cars in the final were running Maclan, and I think 3 out of the 4 in the top 4 were all running Maclan. So
how does one test this stuff? You guys just what makes this so? I guess you can't go into too much details, but all right. So I don't know anything about this stuff. How easy is it for me to get this, program it, and go straight?
It's very easy. It's actually very, very simple to program. It's 5 stages. So what you're doing is you're setting a person, and then the length of each stage to get your car to launch and put that power down without spinning the tires down the track. And it works very well. And once you get the hang of it, it's very intuitive, and you get to know, oh, I need to add 5% here, or take a 10th out there, or oh, it's spinning here because we have data logs, a high definition data log that goes along with it. So you can see if the tires are spinning in a certain spot, and it, you look on the data log and say, oh, but at that percent, and it's very easy to figure out once you use it a little bit.
Hey, Colin, I think we're going to have to turn off your video because you're kind of breaking up here when I talk.
Sure.
Pausing. Just if you could go in there and turn off your video, because this is some important stuff. I want to make sure we get clear. I'm sorry, Colin, but now you're just like a black screen.
That's okay. Nobody needs to see my face anyway.
So data logging. This is something that I've noticed. This looks like Formula One stuff out here. Like guys are hooking up their laptops, doing all this crazy stuff. So I assume there's different profiles you can set up, or if you want to have this hit a little bit more on a certain segment and whatnot, that's all programmable, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Mm.
Everything's, you can set it up from start to finish, how much power you want at what point and for how long. And then you can bring the timing in, when you want and how much and how quickly you want the timing to come in.
Wow.
It's very, very adjustable.
Wow. That's pretty amazing. So, and what turn motors are guys running with these? What do you guys sell with them? Or is it just the ESC that you sell?
Typically like a 3.5 turn, 4.5
Mm-hmm.
turn. Some people are running even lower than that, but typically a 3.5 or a 4.5 turn is plenty for most streets.
Okay. But this is amazing. This software has been successful for you guys. How much has it boosted sales and what?
I'm not exactly sure on the numbers. I just
Mhm.
know how much more customer service work I have to do because I wear that hat as well.
Right.
And
Are you still
it's crazy. We can't keep up with the demand. That's
Really?
all I know.
Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations. Are you still working
you.
at the drone shop as well?
I am.
Okay.
I'm wearing multiple hats. I have 2 jobs and it's pretty much 24 hours a day I'm doing something.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Colin actually builds big ass drones. Like you see those drones that you see flying, carrying, that could carry like babies away. He makes them. Does
We'll call it the stork.
does Travis still work there, or is he going full time with his dad now?
No, he still works at Free Fly with us.
Okay, awesome. Good news. All right, now let's dig into some no prep Tulsa race. I kind of said I loved what Live RC done. The coverage Live RC done for it was really good. It was good to have Scotty there. It was good to have the multiple cameras. I was able to sit down and watch it. Even my buddy and I were watching it, and it was some really close racing as well. My only gripe is it should have been 2 days. That way, the the finals wouldn't have been at 4. But great event, and I think what was really even big was Big Chief being there. I don't know anything about no prep racing. I know Street Outlaws. I've watched maybe 1 or 2 episodes. It's not really my thing, but I know who he is. So I thought this was a big thing to see him there, him getting interviewed, him interacting, then listening to you guys' podcast last night, how into this he's getting.
It is so crazy how much he's into this. Like in between when they're recording their seasons, he's got to find something to do because that's basically his job,
Mm-hmm.
So he discovered the RC no prep stuff and started talking to Tim quite a bit. And he actually came out to see us in Tulsa at the race. So that was kind of what set it all off. I mean, he had a couple DR10s that he was running with his kid up, and they weren't so impressive. But now that he's got a real car and he's really digging into all of the ins and outs of the suspension and the tuning of the speed control and all that kind of stuff. When we were showing him, it was funny. We were showing him how the speed control worked with all the stages and all this kind of stuff. The smile on his face was so big because he says it's so similar to how they tune their race cars.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He can look at it and then he can look at the graph on the data logging, and it looks very, very similar to what he's doing with the race car. So he feels right at home already.
Interesting. I was listening to Tim geek out. He was like, and he's doing stuff from the big world and from the real scale world, and it's working. And he's like, Tim's like, he's learning from this guy about things to do and whatnot. So this guy's really geeking out over this. That's good to see.
Yeah, he's running the Maclan stuff, and we're kind of hooked up with him with Maclan a little bit, where he's teaching us and we're teaching him, and we're learning, and we're actually writing software all the time, and he's requesting this and that, and the rest of us are testing it and he's testing it, and we're making some headway, that direction. So it's really kind of cool where it's a collaboration. We're all working together to bring some of the full size drag race theories and that kind of thing into the RC world. And a lot of it's working. Some of it's not, but a lot of it is. And the things are going to change coming pretty quick. Things are really working well. So, we've got him on board with us, and we're just going along for the ride until they start recording again. And he'll probably, disappear
get busy.
he'll get busy and disappear for a little while, but we know he'll be back. So
I mean, that's just awesome. I mean, it's got everything. This no prep drag racing's got everything I want in off road. It's got rivalry. It's got a celebrity coming in and getting interested in it. It's got charisma, money involved. I love it. Like, I haven't been to an event yet. I really do. I didn't really get to see much of the Tulsa race, but at the King of the Streets race, it looked like one of these, like not a swap meet. It looked like like that old, like everybody displaying their products. You can walk around, talk to people. So many different products out for this. I like that. And I hope to get to one of these races that have all of this type of stuff. Coming from off road, that's where I know you.
Yeah,
from.
Like a manufacturer's row and stuff. It's awesome. All the vendors set up and the manufacturers set up their displays, and it's really a different atmosphere. It's a completely different atmosphere.
Yeah.
Where, everybody's happy to be there. Everyone's high-fiving, giving hugs, and, even your biggest rival, you're standing there and talk, shake hands, chatting, it's really, really good. And everybody says, oh, you bring money into RC, it's going to cause drama.
It hasn't so far in this.
But there's been zero drama at any of these big races. Completely upbeat atmosphere. It's awesome.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything or heard anything. And we're talking about big money, like 20 grand, 18 grand on the line. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. As an off-road guy, that's where I know you from, off-road. And you kind of... you kind of got into this gradually. You didn't get right into it. You kind of built your own car. You got you dipped your toe into it, and now you're fully into it. Do you? I honestly think this will be probably more mainstream than we'll ever see in off-road racing.
Yeah, I mean, I think probably COVID played a big part of that because there wasn't much off-road racing going on, so it was something to do. We could do it in a parking lot or in the middle of nowhere on a road or wherever. And I think that played a big part of it. But I think part of the appeal is that it is so accessible and you can do it almost anywhere. You can set up and have a race run in 2 or 3 hours and go home.
Yeah.
And then a monthly cash race, for your local guys, you walk home with $1,000.
You walk home spending $1,000 sometimes at races and off-road.
Yeah, exactly.
I like the scale aspect of it. I think it's cool. And I remember I asked you, I was like, is this hard, or can off-road guys adapt to this faster? Tebow was at this race in Tulsa. But I also was listening to you guys when you said that he practiced a lot and he was doing hits and he kept he took this seriously. So do you think the off-road guys have a little bit of an advantage coming into this?
Maybe a little bit. They know how the electronics work and they know how to rebuild shocks and that sort of thing. But the tuning philosophy is quite different as far as shock weights and springs, and it everything seems pretty extreme compared to what we're used to in off-road. Like there's people running 3,000 weight diff oil in the rear shocks, that kind of thing. It's way out there, and you'll run, 1 million or more diff oil in the diff, or even lock it completely. There's a lot of little things that add up, but the cars are the same. It's basically based on a 2-wheel drive buggy or a short course truck. And so all the components are basically the same. The electronics still work in the same principle. So wiring them up and everything's called tire prep, which I don't know. It's different than what you would do in off-road, but they're used to tire prep. The tent scale guys are used to tire prep. So that kind of thing. It's a pretty easy transition, I think.
How about the driving aspect?
Well, you're going in a straight line. It's not that hard. No,
I know, but
kidding.
people think that. But does any of the? It's obviously hard. It's not easy.
It really depends. You'll have days or so's that you'll go out and set your car down, and it will just go straight as an arrow, and you don't even have to touch the wheel. But oftentimes you have to drive that car down the track. It'll lose traction a little bit, get a little sideways, and you gotta feather the throttle and steer it and try to keep it from rolling over and hitting the wall. But no, there's some driving involved for sure. But I think that's also, part of the appeal is people can come into it and, whereas off-road, it takes years to be able to be proficient at getting around a track quickly. Years and years and years of practice, where I see guys that I was racing off-road with that were very new to off-road, and they were not struggling, but they were, newer type drivers, and they come to the drag side and they can be competitive.
Right.
So
I get that.
The driving side of it is probably less than it is for off-road.
Off-road racing is not easy. Like you really need to practice and have a lot of
the tuning of the cars is the biggest thing. Right.
Okay. Interesting. So I definitely think like maybe Tebow definitely comes in with an advantage, like with his skills with off-road, but then his determination and knowing that he has to get there and do some passes also helped him. So he just like what he does when off-road, he just did it with the drag race. And I enjoyed watching his racing. I know Mayfield's deep into this too. Are we seeing any more of these top off-road guys getting into this?
I think we're going to see a lot of them, because I know that Dakota's built a car, and I know a lot of them have built cars, but depending on their schedules, they're committed to their off-road stuff. So as their off-road schedules will dictate, I think you'll see them pop in from here, here and there. And the way Tebow approached it was really, really impressive. He's a world champion for a reason, and he applied the exact same methodology and philosophies to his drag racing. And it was very impressive because it paid off, and he was very competitive. And I know you heard the story about him up there practicing the tree with his radio in his hand, and that was great. He was cutting some great lights, and until the one time he didn't, and it cost him.
Yeah. He took it serious, and I like that. And I also like that race had two entries. I know in real life you don't have two entries, but I thought it always kind of like, people travel that way, and they don't have give them another entry, like what you guys done. What they done at that race. All right. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think the sky's the limit for this no prep stuff, man. Definitely looks like it right now.
I don't think we've seen the peak yet. With the 1320 guys coming out to Tulsa, they promoted it a lot. Chief coming out, it's going to get more and more coverage and eyeballs on it. Yes. With these kind of guys coming out, and it's going to grow some more. I think it's not peaked out yet. So the 1320 guys want to have a race of their own during their big. Yeah, they have a yearly party. Wow. / drag race / car show, whatever, at their headquarters. They have a great big huge headquarters up in Nebraska, and they want to incorporate no printing into it when they do it. So that'll help a lot. And I couldn't believe the coverage that they had, and how long they were there in Tulsa, and like till 2:00 in the morning, they were hanging out, shooting pictures, talking to people.
Really?
Oh, it was crazy. Yeah. They were into it.
Do you think we're going to see this on the Discovery Channel at any point, Colin?
Well, Chief, we talked to Chief about that, and he thinks it's got everything it needs. Maybe it might need a little more drama, but we've got drama. It usually just stays away from the racetrack. So I don't know. I don't know. We got to refine a few things. We got to make it so that it's something that they can film and put it all into a half an hour or an hour show, as opposed to a 20-hour day kind of thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, we've got some work to do to get it to that point, but he says we've got everything we need. So you never know.
Yeah. I gotta, you're off-road guy. You gotta slip in my RCGP video at one point and say, hey, these crazy guys did this too. I obviously
speaking of RCGP video, we got was it episode 3 coming out?
Yes, we do. I actually am gonna be doing our early viewing of that next week.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. I can't wait for the American one. I think that's going to be the most exciting one, and the most people can relate with, because there's going to be a lot of American drivers there. So And I can't wait to see what happens in 2022.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
and-
that was so much fun. That's still the race. I still hold that race as the benchmark of all the races I've been to. That's what I compare everything to.
I think you speak very highly of it, and that's also a good thing. So I know that's appreciated. All right, I think we're gonna wrap up. No prep. I do want to touch on a little bit of the PNW and e-buggy and stuff like that. You guys are doing some good stuff. Scotty's got a race coming up here soon. I know there's a race in Texas. There's a lot of big races coming up. Will you be traveling to any of them?
I probably will. I'm not sure which ones yet. That's not really my decision. I go where I'm told to go, basically. But I think they're still finalizing some deals with, sponsoring the races and that kind of stuff. And Scotty and the owner of Maclan are pretty close. So I'm guessing I'd probably end up at that one, but it's hard to say.
Okay. That's going to be a big deal.
I don't know yet. The two big races coming up are Scotty's and another one in Topeka, Kansas, which is like 2 weeks later. So it's kind of tight, but.
Oh man, I think you're going to just see these type of races popping up all the time. You might have to stop building drones and do this full time, Colin.
Yeah, if I was making the money to do that, I would.
I know. It sucks. Like that. We love it, but it just doesn't make the money that we need to make. All right. Real quick. E-buggy. Maclan 8-scale electrics. We have the E-Nationals coming up here in a couple of weeks. I wanted to go to that. I didn't. I got chastised for not giving e-buggy enough love on this podcast. I love you. I have no issue with e-buggy. In fact, I want to e-truggy. You're working with these ESCs and these motors. What can we expect? Can we expect these motors and these ESCs to be a little bit more durable? Some better technology, maybe some software coming from the drag race side, so people can set up the throttle response to maybe simulate a nitro buggy. Like, I know that's the reason why some people run clutches. What can you tell us about this?
We're always working on the durability side of it. We've got a new speed control coming and new motors coming, which we've worked on the durability a bit to try to help that side of it. We're always working on trying to make the software smoother and make it feel really linear, kind of almost like a nitro buggy, but it's really hard with an electric motor to simulate that similar free rolling, when the clutch disengages on a nitro engine. It's hard to simulate that when you've got the drag of a motor, an electric motor. So yeah, we're always working on that kind of stuff. And I think, I don't know, I haven't really seen a whole lot of new stuff from other manufacturers in that department recently. So I expect they're working on something as well, but I don't see huge changes in that department. It's just going to be incremental steps here and there to improve little things that are kind of failing. But
yeah,
I think, I've been running e-buggy quite a bit over the last year, and I've kind of fallen in love with it a little bit. I hate to say it, but
I mean, it is easier plug and play. E-truggy is growing immensely.
Yes. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So. It's taken off, even here in the Northwest, we're seeing it grow. Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see. I think I'm definitely a advocate for seeing e-buggy as a world champion. I would love to see e-buggy worlds as well. I think people think I'm against it. Obviously, I love nitro; it's the glory. But I understand that e-buggy is easier for everybody and easier for newbies to come in. So I'm all for it. I just want to see a little bit more durability and able to probably do a little longer races. 15, 20 minutes shouldn't be too much to ask from them. I know that's more battery life now, but I think we're going in the right direction that way. So yeah, and like I said, I see a lot more people running Maclans too. So good job. I think you're a big reason because of that, and Tebow. So good job, man.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're relying heavily on Tebow for a lot of this kind of stuff, and he does a lot of testing and stuff for us, and he puts out a lot of effort. So we're very proud to have him, and we work pretty close with him. It was funny because the 2 days after the Tulsa race,
Mm-hmm.
I went back with him up to Missouri to go testing for 2 days. And so we got some good data there, and he spent another 2 days away from his family while we were testing, and he's dedicated. So
Yep.
We're very, very thankful to have him.
Tebow gets it, man. He, I'm glad he did not retire. But he gets it. He understands that things have to be different in the industry, and he works hard to promote himself, and he uses his family as well. He's an open book with that. I've got a lot of respect for him. And how many battery packs did you guys do in 2 days? I gotta ask.
Oh boy. I'm going to say 20, 25,
Okay.
something like that. Well, that was just him. That's per person. We had 3 or 4 guys there. So pretty much times that by 3 or 4, 60 or 80 packs kind of thing.
Sweet. Well, you guys were definitely, that's a lot of e-buggy testing right there. But yeah, I guess it's cool to be doing stuff like that, though, and I'm glad you get to do things like that, because I know you like this type of stuff.
I do. You go in to do that kind of testing and stuff. It's stressful. In case there's a failure or something there, it's very stressful, but I do enjoy it, and it's fun. And, I'm learning a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole reason for us to go test with these guys is we're learning from them. And we're trying to give them what they want and what they need.
Mm-hmm.
So that whatever information we learn, we take it back and
goes to the customers.
Try to improve. Right. Exactly.
Sweet, man. I think you're doing a good job. I think you're doing a damn good job.
Thank you.
Because I didn't know anything about Maclan until this last year or so. I mean, I knew Tebow ran them and whatnot. So congratulations. All right. We'll top it off real quick. You guys are back racing up there in the Pacific Northwest. That's great to see. I was talking to Ryan. He was telling me about the NCT finals coming up, and it's in October, but you guys have a couple of NCT races. Have you been attending these? I saw you might have attended a couple of them. Are you having a lot of fun up there doing some off-road in the Pacific Northwest?
I am having fun doing off-road, yeah, but I unfortunately have not been able to make any of the NCT so far this year. I've been away and traveling, doing stuff, for Maclan and other things, but unfortunately I've not made the first 2 rounds, and we've got another one coming up, not this weekend, but next weekend, and I'm going to make that. And that's my local one where we had the huge turnout. You remember in 2019 with almost 400 entries.
Okay.
So they've been getting even bigger, bigger than normal entry counts, and so far this season. So I'm expecting this one to be incredibly huge. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, man. Such a hotbed of racing going on up there, man. It's 10 scale too.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the pictures and videos from like Diehard RC up here this year. They've made a bunch of improvements, and some of the racers have put in a lot of effort building new features and jumps and just making the place world class. It's unbelievable. I think Saturday they had it was Sunday.
Yeah,
Sunday they had a turf race, and it was 155 entries and like 100 people. 105
Nice.
people or something like that, just for a 1-day club race. So
nice. They work hard. They work hard, those people.
Yes.
Cool. Well, that's good to see. I have a lot of love for the
crazy. So nice, and it doesn't get the coverage that it should. I think it needs a national turf on the turf.
Yeah. I think they should put a bid in for it and then see what happens. Because I think Raw's been to this track in Gaithersburg twice since I think they went in 2017, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, put in. Why not have a turf one? It looks nice. I got someone sent me a post to share. I need to share it. So thanks for reminding me. All right, dude. I knew this wasn't going to be too long. Thank you for your time. Keep up the good work. I'm happy to see No Prep working out for you. Getting to rub shoulders with celebrities is always good, and I hope it promotes our industry and our hobby. So I hope you're a part of that, and it looks like you are. Keep up the good work. I'll be listening to the Speed Shop a lot more now that I'm kind of back in focus back here at home. And keep up just keep doing what you're doing, man. It's good to see your journey and following it.
Well, thank you, Lefty. I'm having a great time, and I'm just trying to grow the hobby and make everybody see what we're doing. Get out there and get this stuff in front of people. So it's a lot of fun, and I'm just trying to do my job.
Sweet. Now, if anybody wanted to contact you about any Maclan stuff, where can they contact you, dude?
Message me directly through Facebook or something like that, or you can even send a email through the website. That works too, through the Maclan website.
Sweet. Awesome, Colin. Well, have fun at the NCT. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to what comes out, happens with you guys next, man. It's exciting to see.
Yeah, thank you very much, and hope to see you soon.
Me too, man. Me too. All right. Bye-bye.
All right. See you later.
Cool.
We are now at that point of the show where you should fasten those seatbelts and put your big boy pants on.
Things are about to get serious.
It's time for the JQ Racing Rant.
Yes, indeed. It's that time in the show. It's time for the JQ Racing Rant. I'm back with my good buddy over here, Max Mort. And it's not really much of a rant, but it was something that was brought to my attention by a listener and friend of mine, Corey Jordan, EK. Check him out, EKJ24000 on YouTube. He was like, dude, I was listening to episode 77 with Miguel Matias, and he was talking about fuel tanks. And I've completely forgot that he even talked about this. So I thought it's kind of calmed down the whole fuel tank debacle from the Raw Nationals. I'm still very much on the fence about it. I know we talked about it on our live, but now we can kind of sit here and talk about it a little bit more. But I just want to play what Miguel said in the interview. This is episode number 77. I think this was maybe 2020 I did this. And let's see where he starts. It's at the 2 hour, 33 minute, and 49 second. Whatchamacallit, marker.
It's off-road gas cars, and you go through tech, and they always do the same mistake over and over and over again. When they are going to check your fuel, they are blowing into a plastic container that is hot. What do they think, and why does it happen when you're in a place that's like very hot, that's 30 somethings, 40 degrees outside temperature for the whole week, and every day you're blowing into the same tank? What do you think is going to happen at the end of the week? And why do people get disqualified for excess of fuel in their tanks? And why is it only on the end of the week? Normally, it's just stupid. It for me, it makes no sense. Checking the fuel by blowing air into your fuel tank.
Yeah,
it needs to be done the opposite way.
Suck it out.
You need to suck obviously. That's obvious. I've told this as many times as I can count, and they just don't care. And it's a really, really small thing to do. Just invert the pump. It's just, I don't know why they keep doing it.
Because that's how they've done it all this time.
Simple. But it's wrong. It's stupid. It's something that makes me crazy.
Yeah, I can hear it. You should be the
it's
vice president.
Really basic.
I'm going for president. You can be vice president. We're going to change RC.
Yeah, no. I had my own battles, so
it's like
I'm done with those.
I don't blame you, man. Enjoy. You gotta. All right. So Miguel Matias, super radical. That was actually a really great conversation with him.
Oh yeah, that sounded great too.
So I forgot all about this. I can't, I'm on 130, I don't know, 150 something podcasts. I can't remember everything. So Corey messaged me yesterday and was telling me about this. And I listened to it this morning. I was like, oh, you're right. So I wanted to play it because, man, I've been thinking about this so much. I mean, Mike and I had 9 hours to digest it all. We was there. We got to we talked about this a lot. I'm still on the fence about it. Like, this is kind of how I look at it. I figured that Ty Tasman on the cutting edge all the time. They were on the limit. They gambled and they came up short, right? They thought the tank would shrink back in time so they can, get away with it. Not saying they were doing anything wrong, just, trying to get that extra bit of fuel mileage. Cole, I think, forgot because his tank was all right the whole week. You know what I mean? Because Mike was telling me that he saw Cole after his semi was super worried. I'm all right with the tank, right? And he kept asking. And he almost got in trouble for not marshalling because of that. And then Mayfield was kind of on the limit too, trying to get that fuel mileage. But man, this theory is definitely plausible, man. It's definitely plausible. And it just has to be tested. It has to be tested. If this is the case,
yeah.
Think of the ramifications this will have for IFMAR. Not that it would matter anything, but think about guys like Yannick Aiguan who got, who didn't get into the semis of the worlds that he's probably going to win because of this, something like this. You know what I mean? Or, wow, that's all I can say. Like, you know what I mean? What if?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
He's probably right. We shouldn't be like blowing the fuel out of there because even though it's like not that high pressure, when it's like straight from the track, it has actually effect because it's like 60 degrees hot, the plastic. So it's like you can almost like twist it around or whatever. So it's really soft. So when you even little pressure inside, it starts to get bigger and bigger. So I think that's one reason. But the other reason is just that if you check the tanks straight as they come from the track, they're always going to be bigger. And like most likely that's why the guys in third and fourth passed. It's not because they were like not as close to the limit. It's just that their tanks got to cool down. A few minutes left. A few minutes more, yeah.
Wow, but I mean, if these guys are expanding these tanks to make them like that, my thing was like, shouldn't they just have a mandatory 30-minute cool down period or something? Like mandatory.
Yeah, I think the only way to do it is pre-tech or then do sort of a cooldown, 5-minute cooldown or whatever. It doesn't even have to be 30 minutes. 5-minute cooldown, if you don't pass, then it's 20-minute cooldown or 10-minute cooldown, whatever it is now. So I think that's one simple rule. But like the only issue with this rule would be that you would start to build the tanks from materials that would sort of deflate. Because then you could have
maybe they're doing that already, dude.
I mean, yeah, probably some brands are if they know how to do it. Yes, most likely they are.
What if some brands have figured out that, hey, we can get our tanks to expand an extra cc to get an extra cc and a half of fuel in at some point throughout the race, and that it has to cool on. We needed to cool on in time after the race. What if some tanks? What if somebody went and tested all the tanks and did all of that before they went out there and see which one expands the most and retracts the most? What if that's happening?
I mean, yeah, probably it has happened at some point. I wouldn't be too surprised. But that's almost impossible to tech for.
I know. It's just crazy. Like, it's crazy. So much ramification. What if this guy was right? And what if like the guys are right from the Nationals and Raw's expanding tank? Well, they've been expanding tanks and causing disqualifications all these years by doing improper techniques. Raw needs to really just come out and test this, and then probably even get an independent test done to clarify, to back it up. You know what I mean, or whatever. That's what has to happen here.
But at the end of the day, just the tank. The only thing you would really need to change is to have a cool down period. Because if the tank is sort of normal temperature, it won't expand even if you put pressure into it. So like the issue is when you take the car straight after the run. So I think the cooldown is enough to make the rule work.
Yeah, it makes the plastic extra pliable. So it's just like, like glass, when glass comes out and you blow in it and it's hot.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting to see. I know it's died down a bit. Like I'm not like other people. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not anti-Raw. Like people think like I'm trying to. I want Raw to exist. We need Raw to do more things. We need these federations to do more things. By the way, Afro's website's looking pretty good. I was looking at it. They're doing a lot of work, even though they're not doing any races. They're doing some good work with their website. I just wanted to point that out. But man, it's just nuts to think. Excuse me. Oh, I just burped. Sorry. Yeah, it just came out of nowhere.
You're just dying right there in the middle.
Yeah, I just got caught right here. I just want to see some tests done. I think we need to keep the Raw's feet to the fire on this, and that's what. Like, even though I want to believe this theory, but I'm kind of like, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I just think we need to do it, and if like not pushing the fuel out and sucking it out is the answer to do this, then that's just such a simple change. We should do it, and then people can't complain about it. You know what I mean? So let's just get this fixed, Raw. Let's do it. But that comes from they have to do more races and all that type of stuff. A lot of things I could go on about. All right, Max. You look tired. I know you've been talking for a long time. It's getting late there in Finland. Something I forgot to touch on before in the intro. I have to say rest in peace, R.I.P. to Rex Welch of RW Mods. He had a YouTube channel. He passed away about 2 weeks ago. All of a sudden, man, it's a shocking thing. Rex was he used to follow this show. I've talked to him a few times. Nice guy. He had a YouTube channel. In fact, I remember seeing him put up the Friday before his death. They put out a YouTube video went up about the Offner motors, and I was like, wow, he reviewed one of them. So our condolences go to his family, and he's from Minnesota, so it's a big racing community. It's sad when one of our family members, RC family members, pass away, especially when they pass away suddenly. So R.I.P. Rex, man, and Nitro's the glory, man. He was really, I love Nitro. So yeah, man, sad things. All right, Max, videos for you coming out soon. We talked about that.
Yeah,
we got the IBC race that, if we get video or something, maybe what are you doing this weekend? Actually, are you going to the track?
Probably gonna be home. It's gonna be raining the weekend. My parents are probably traveling. They have a holiday, so they probably take the camper and go out somewhere in the north of Finland. So I'll probably be chilling. Maybe go out of town, hang out with.
Your volume's going. Max's volume disconnected. I don't know what happened. He's got to connect his volume back up. He's just chilling. We're on the weekend here. I'm going to be watching football this weekend. England versus Italy. It's going to be great on Sunday. Going to the beach with my kids probably as well. Got an RC boat. I'm waiting for some batteries to take that out and have some fun. Going to do some crawling here soon. Follow the IBC race. Yeah, just getting some content ready for you guys next week. Max, did you get your microphone sorted? Yeah. There you go.
Does it work now?
Yeah. Yeah, battery died or something. So
yeah, my mic battery died, but I guess I can use the aux cord on its
the mic battery.
Yeah.
All right, Max. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Have a good weekend. Remember, guys, go check out Max's YouTube channel. Let's get him up to 1,000 subs. Hit that notification button. Hit that sub button. A lot of great content on there. Hit that sub and notification button for us too. As well, we got to grow our YouTube. We're at 1,300 subs. I would love to get to 1,500 by the end of the summer or before. 2,000 by the end of the year or way before would be great. Yeah, I think that's it. Shout out to all the NNRC squad around the world. Without you guys, we can't do it. Thank you for listening and downloading the podcast. We're having fun doing it. Hopefully get to go to some races and do some more coverage for you guys. Shout out to the patrons of the podcast. You guys go the extra mile. If you wish to become a patron and support what we guys are doing here a little extra, you can. The link for that is in the written description of this podcast. Shout out to all the awesome sponsors, man. Showing the sponsors some love shows the podcast some love. Mayako, TNR Fuels, Hitec RC, Beach RC, Tekno RC, Sun City RC Racing, Manscaped.com. Don't forget to use that promo code, save 20%. RCGP, Racecraft USA, Wally Builds, Papa Willie's Traction Tonic. There's a promo code for them. Lugs Racing Tires. Hey, show some support for these guys. It helps us out a lot. Thank you for their support. Max, that's it. Short one. It's good to be back in the studio and chatting with you. I got some new lights too. Next one, they'll be pink.
Looking fancy.
Yeah, I can put all different. I'm going to have pink next time. It's going to be great. I actually had pink with my interview with Colin. Thank you for your time. Congratulations on your win. The Padawan is now becoming master.
Yeah, officially now, I guess. He still says he's like the master, but
yeah,
I think his time is over.
You are now a Jedi master from Padawan status. No, even though you've beaten him before, but you beat him and then won the race.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
I guess this is sort of a switch period.
We can now cut your ponytail, your little rat tail off, and now you can grow a beard.
I'm going full Jesus.
Yeah, there you go. You go grow a beard, grow your hair long, and become like a full Jedi, Jedi Knight, and probably piss off the Jedi Order because that's what you do. Congratulations, man, and thank you for your time. It's good to have you back. Thank you guys for everything. Yeah. Remember, Nitro is the glory. E-Buggy pays the bills. If you ain't grinding, you're sliding. Lefty and Max out. Have a good weekend, everybody. Be safe and send it with responsibility.
Thank you for listening to the No Name RC podcast. We greatly appreciate all the support and love from you, the listeners. Without all of you, none of this is possible. Special thanks to our patrons on Patreon. If you wish to support the podcast further, you can at patreon.com/NNRC podcast. As a patron, you will receive early releases, special content, and patron-only giveaways. Also, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and our website, www.nnrcpodcast.com. Remember, Nitro is the glory, but E-Buggy pays the bills. If you aren't having fun, it doesn't make sense. And if you ain't grinding, you're sliding. Lefty out. Nitro is the glory. Nitro is the glory. Nitro is the glory.
That wasn't so bad.